Are we going blah, 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 that kind of thing?
No, I don't mean say that.
What?
Just start the show.
Yeah, and then stop and you put a jingle in.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go, the one you've all been working... I'll do it again. Here we take two. Here we go, the one you've all been waiting for. It is the James Whale Radio Show online. No, actually, it's the James Whale Radio Show worldwide, or as I'm saying on BBC Essex at the moment, the only way is Whale.
James Whale, the voice of reason on the James Whale Radio Show.
Now, first of all, before we start talking rubbish, as some people say, it's what I've made a career out of, I just want to thank everybody for getting us. I think this week we got up to number 69 in the iTunes chart. Producer Rob, is that right?
That's right, yeah, I am Rob.
Yeah, no, I know you're Rob. Did we get to 69 in the iTunes chart?
Oh, sorry, yeah, we got to 69 in the iTunes chart, yeah, last week.
Yeah. There's no danger that you could pay attention to the whole programme, is there?
Well, I have a habit of drifting.
I know you do.
Okay.
Now, if I get it right, this is for all those of you who'd like to really sort of stick one on all those other people, particularly radio stations I used to work for, that we are more than beating in the iTunes chart, are we not?
We are.
And as we are a proper online radio show, I think it'd be nice if everybody now went to iTunes and get rid of, if you downloaded the programs before, now there are 7 you can download. Get rid of those. Is that right?
That's right, yeah.
And then download them all again.
That's a good idea.
And because I reckon if you get rid of all the ones you've already downloaded, and that doesn't cost any more money, does it?
It's free.
It's free.
Mm.
Free?
Yeah, that's why we don't get any money.
Oh, for goodness sake. We're still open, by the way. We're still open to advertisers, and I'll be talking advertising in a moment. So if you go to iTunes, search for Whale, and then download all the shows free, we could get to number 1. That would make my month. If we could get to number 1 in the iTunes chart, that'd make my month.
Just your month?
It would make my year, actually.
Yeah, that's more
that would make my year. If we could beat Stevie Wright in the iTunes chart, I will ring him up and quack like a duck down the phone to him.
Very nice.
I don't think I can say fairer than that, can I?
Very professional.
Now, I'd like to just talk to some of you guys out there who, like myself, favour facial hair. How many of you guys enjoy what I like to call a face garden? Or maybe a window box for the face? And for some people who don't have time in their lives, a hobby is always necessary. But if you don't have a time for a hobby, have you ever thought about just growing a bit of facial hair and looking after it as if it is the window box to your soul? My very good friends at King of Shaves, of course, now supply all the accoutrements, all the stuff you would need to look after your facial follicles. And they've brought out some really nice new stuff, which I'm hoping, of course, they'll be sending me in the near future to try. So when you're thinking of a way of looking after your face, making your chin smooth, making sure that your whiskers don't prickle the one you love, remember, King of Shaves smooths on, cuts off, moisturizes, and really enhances the whole facial feeling. So, Rob, when you go to the shops next, what will you be buying for your face?
Anything from King of Shaves, by the sound of things.
Fabulous. And if you want your product mentioned on my program, then all you need to do is get in touch with Rob. How can they get in touch with you?
Well,
Rob?
they could email us via your website, or they could phone the show.
How would one phone the show?
Well, we can give them the number and they could phone it and leave a message.
Okay, well, should we give them the number?
Okay, it's 0117 230 1771.
0117 230 171. Is that correct?
No, you missed out 7.
Where was the 7 I missed out?
The one before the end.
So, 0117
230.
230 1771.
That's right.
That's not bad, is it? So if you want to phone the show and be on the show, 0117 230 1771.
The James Whale Radio Show.
Good. Right, we put up a Facebook question of the week, as we always do. This week, one I've been talking about on various radio shows, the RSPCA report shows a big rise in cruelty to animals, and not only cruelty to animals, but cruelty to RSPCA inspectors. And I wondered, I put out the question, has our image of a country of animal lovers now gone? I don't know. I don't think we are. I think we're a nation of animal abusers. And so I put this out on Facebook, and these are some of your thoughts. Rachel Phillips. Hello, Rachel. Good to know you're tuned into the James Whale Radio Show. Tell your friends. Join us here. She says, I think it's more to do with the current mental state of many in society. Life is seen as worthless, including animals. Lots of frustrated people who want to exert their power and choose to do that over animals. It makes me sick. Makes me sick as well, Rachel. You're right. And I think, actually, when you look at it, I think that the financial state of the country probably has a great deal to do with why we seem to be becoming a nation of abusers. Not only is it abusing animals, abusing children, abusing each other. There's no courtesy. We're rude the whole time. It seems that we've just given up as far as being civilized. In many cases, obviously not in all cases, in many cases is concerned. Martin Bone says, I foster cats for the Cats Protection League. Well done, Martin. Some of the stories I hear breaks my heart so much. You know what I was on, talking on the program I'm doing for BBC Essex. Join me, by the way, BBC Essex, and you can phone in and have a chat. I mentioned the fact that a lamb had had its ears cut off. I said probably by a couple of young thugs, and I was castigated, and I think probably quite rightly, for saying they were young. They need not necessarily have been young, although I rather suspect somebody going into a field late at night, finding a lamb, chasing it around the field, grabbing it and cutting its ears off, which, by the way, is a disgusting, deplorable, depraved thing to do, probably had to be fairly young. Usha Patricia Patel says, the thing is, James, we have the Mayhew Home, Battersea Dogs Home. We need more funding for charity organisations. People shouldn't have animals if they can't afford to cope with them. Again, I agree with all your thoughts on those. Robbo, got any thoughts?
Recently, anyway, it's become more and more on the news, isn't it, to do with animals. Every day, it seems something on the news. I mean, only last night I was watching the news about that girl. Very disturbing.
Oh, appalling. Absolutely. The fact is they've put a picture on all the papers, I think, this week. Or maybe if you're listening next week, it's last week, not to confuse us. And the tragedy that the little girl who was mauled to death by the dog in the picture was not the dog that was involved. I just, for the life of me, I do not understand why anybody would put a young child on its own with a dog of any size, of any sort. And people who put babies down on the floor with a dog, I don't know what's going on. I really don't. We'll come back to some more of the question we put up on Facebook. And if anybody's got a suggestion, by the way, as to what sort of question you want to hear people talking about, or you want to vent your spleen on it, get in touch via the website. The website, Rob?
Website is jameswhaleradio.co.uk, or better still, get in touch with us on Facebook.
That's a good idea. Get in touch with us on Facebook.
James Whale, James Whale, James Whale Radio Show.
Now, I want to talk about another money-making idea here, of course, because we've got to think of finances. Have you downloaded my book, The Butterfly Boy, by Tony Klinger? Yeah?
Not me.
Have you not done it?
I haven't done it.
Why haven't you done it, Rob?
Well, I thought I was just going to send you 50p.
No, I don't think I get 50p for every one you downloaded. I don't think I get that much. I think I get about 1p.
Well, I thought everyone was just going to send you 50p in.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, rather than download the book, send me 50p Send it via our email address. What we need one of those PayPal accounts, don't we?
We do, yeah.
We do. We ought to sort that out, and then we can sell copies of my book, not just give them away.
The James Whale Slush Fund.
Yeah, the James Whale Slush Fund. What a good idea. Anyway, The Butterfly Boy by Tony Klinger is beginning to do quite well, and I'm only promoting it because I have read it. So the audiobook version, I mean, once you've got the audiobook version of my autobiography, which you can also download, which I'll probably also get something out of, although I don't think I've heard from the publishers for about 4 years. I think they've forgotten me. So if you download the reason I think you should download The Butterfly Boy, first of all, I spent 3 days in a recording studio in Luton recording it. And secondly, it's actually a bloody good story. It's the story of a young boy who's born of a German father and a Jewish mother in Germany during the rise of Adolf Hitler. The boy contracts polio, so not only is he half Jewish, he's disabled. And of course, being brought up in Nazi Germany, you were not looking at a very bright future. There's a lot of excitement in this story. He becomes, and by the way, this isn't a true story. He becomes Hitler's personal wartime artist, and it's quite exciting actually. He's then concocting a plot as Hitler's wartime artist to get rid of Adolf Hitler. And it's interesting. It follows the boy's story from when he's being born through to actually his later life and when he dies. And it's worth it. I actually enjoyed reading it. The only thing that took me suddenly by surprise, and I'm sitting in the studio reading the book, is the sex scenes. Now, I'm not going to tell you about the sex scenes, but I want some feedback from you as to whether you think I have a future in doing that sort of book. Because I hear there's money in it.
A lot of money in it.
A lot of money in it, yeah. So if you go to, where, Amazon, I suppose?
Amazon, Amazon probably the best bet.
Yeah, go to Amazon and look for The Butterfly Boy, which when you look at the cover and stuff, you probably think, I don't want to... Get it, listen to it. I think it's quite exciting. I'd like to know what you think. I think it's a great read. I think, by the way, it will make a great movie. Tony Klinger, who wrote it, actually, is, of course, a movie producer and has produced a number of movies in his time. So The Butterfly Boy by Tony Klinger. If you go to Amazon, you can find it there, download it and have a listen. And just think you're contributing to the James Whale Slush Fund as well.
We could probably make the 50 Shades of Whale.
Do you know, I was thinking that when I've got my new, you want to email me at the BBC, the only way is whale, at the BBC, the only way is whale.co.uk, at the BBC, is it? .co.uk, yeah. Yes, I quite like that. That's quite good, isn't it? The only way is whale and 50 Shades of Whale.
Yeah.
These are all coming soon.
Yeah.
These are all coming soon. Anyway, listen, thanks to talentgb.com for putting us out there, Audio Boo. Loads of other places that are showing. We have loads of radio stations wanting to put us on, which is good. Trentsound.com, coastradio.co.uk, and we're on mypicktv.co.uk. How come we're on a TV station?
That's because we have a video. I think it's because they saw the amazing footage of the in the studio last week.
Well, what are we going to do this week? Well, we haven't got a video.
I might go
Just
out
put
with a
bits of the
Polaroid
other one
camera
out.
or something later.
Justradio.net, and if your radio station wants to put us out, get in touch. And we'll see what we can do. And also looking for reggae music, by the way. I want to play some reggae on the show. But we're going to feature music from new bands, unsigned bands. So, as well, you know the way to get in touch. Go to our website, go on our Facebook page. Contact me via Twitter at The James Whale.
James Whale, yeah, James Whale, most famous man in the whole world ever. James Whale.
Now, one of the stories this week that I think has got a lot of people thinking is this guy who was being observed by security services because he was on a temping, they call it. He was kept under surveillance. He was on a tag. Because he had terrorist links. He wasn't thought to be too dangerous to the nation, so they hadn't arrested him. They were just keeping him under observation. He went into a mosque and disappeared. And apparently he left the mosque dressed in a full burqa. Today, well, the other day, or could have been a week ago, depending on when you're listening to me, we hear the MI5, the Metropolitan Police Security Forces, are getting together, putting together a task force to find this guy. Bearing in mind, apparently, he is not dangerous. So, obviously, he's slightly more dangerous than they're letting on, because they're putting together a task force to find him. Now, here's my thought. If I go into a Wetherspoon, is it Wetherspoon? Yeah, well, quite a lot of pubs, but say Wetherspoon's pub. They don't like you going in there with a hooded top or wearing a baseball hat, which I think probably in this day and age is fair enough. You know, those are the rules. They don't want you keeping your face covered up because they want to be able to observe you on CCTV. If you ride a motorbike and you go to fill your motorbike up and go to pay, or even before you fill it up in quite a lot of garages, you will be asked to take your helmet off. I think that's fair. And so I think the debate that we kind of pussyfoot around at the moment is this. In 21st century Britain, should anyone be walking around the streets with their faces covered? And I'm sorry, but I don't really understand why anybody would want to do it. And I don't actually understand why any culture, because it has no religious connotations, this covering yourself up. It's a bit of a bastardized version of religion, isn't it? I don't actually understand why people would want to try and keep themselves apart from everybody else that they live with. And so I'm interested to know whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, Hindu, or anything else, whether you think it's good for all our souls for some sections of society to think that they actually don't want to mix in with the rest of us, don't want to be involved with the rest of us. I saw a debate on television the other day with a whole lot of women talking about it was their personal choice to cover their faces and nobody has the right to tell them what they should or should not wear. Well, I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. But I don't think what you happen to wear, and you can cover yourself from head to foot with gold lame and pink spots. I couldn't give a damn. But I think the face is the window to your soul if you want some sort of, ethereal discussion. In fact, you can't have a communication with somebody unless you can see their eyes. You can't. And so I don't think we should actually feel it is racist or it is decrying somebody's religion to say, look, in Britain, people show their faces. I mean, do we really want to be a society like Saudi Arabia? Do we? Where a woman recently was arrested because she was driving her husband to hospital. Do we want to be like that? I don't think we do. But I might be wrong. I might be in a minority thinking like that. Get in touch. Let me know what you think.
James Well, the voice of reason on the James Well radio show.
Robbo, you're very quiet.
I was listening to you.
Yeah. Were you?
I was listening.
Do you think I was talking rubbish again, did you?
You are the voice of reason. I would never argue.
I am the voice of reason, aren't I? I am the voice of reason. I can hear talking in the background. What's going on?
You can hear talking in the background?
I thought I could hear talking in the background, yeah, and I heard a buzz, but maybe that was just me being observed after I mentioned the Saudis. I don't know.
It's, there's no one here other than me and
you. Are you sure? Yeah. Yeah. Are we going to see if we can get some phone calls on this
program? Let's see if we can get some calls. Right, let's put the word out. Let's have a look.
How long have we done now?
We've done 19 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad. I was going to say 20 minutes.
Phone now.
Is that what you're writing?
Yes. Phone now. This might all go horribly, horribly wrong, but there we go.
Yeah, well, we'll put one on, see what who it is, what they're doing.
Right.
What else was I going to talk about? I forgot. Yeah, I've had a blank. Oh, Shipyards.
Who's going to be the first caller?
So should we just carry on with the program when we've done that? And if you get, if you get a caller, then we'll go to it, right?
Yes, we could do that.
Are you sure you can stick them straight on? Okay.
Yeah, because it literally will start binging on the screen, and I'll say, James, we've got a caller. And then,
all right.
Is there a code word you want to give me if you want me to hang up on
them? Thank you.
Okay. What if you genuinely mean to say thank you? If you just say thank you like that on its own, that's...
You'll know. You'll know. You're for the chop, mate.
You can't... You could say that. Yeah.
Why can't I say that?
You could come up with a catchphrase.
Yeah. Yeah, whale says walk. Oh, I like that. Write that down. What?
Right, that's fine. It's all good. Whale says walk.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, next topic then. Let's see if we get any calls.
All right. So we're trying out this idea of seeing if there's anybody who wants to call in while we're doing this. And obviously, as you know, this is a recorded show. Although I know you think it probably isn't because we leave all the bloody mistakes in. But there is a way that when we're doing the program, we say if you want to call us, and then we're putting out on Facebook that you can call us now, so you can ring in, and hopefully we've perfected the technology, and it'll be like talking to you. So it may not work for this show, but just bear in mind the number to call is 0117 230 1771. 0117 230 1771, and give it a ring. All right. Now, Shipyards, big story in the news, and sadly for all the people in Bristol, Portsmouth, I beg your pardon, in Portsmouth, the shipyard there, the naval dockyard, is closing down, although they will still continue to be there to mend and repair ships. Shipbuilding is going to disappear from there. But the two big shipyards up in Scotland are going to stay open. Now, I find this very difficult to imagine it is anything other than a political ploy, because, of course, the hot topic, as far as the Scots are concerned at the moment, and having been to Glasgow a couple of weeks ago, I didn't meet anybody, and I was there for a night out and talked to quite a lot of people, and I didn't meet one person who's in favour of devolution of Scotland going on its own. Everybody says, don't be ridiculous, nobody wants it. Apart from Alex Salmond, and he's quite keen, as you know. Is it a bit of a ploy, do you think, for the government? You know about these things, Rob. You're big into shipbuilding. I nearly said fish building. You're big into shipbuilding. It seems to me very strange that here we are when there's a huge debate in Scotland about the possibility of splitting from the United Kingdom. Suddenly, we're letting them have all the shipyards and closing ours down.
Yeah, it does seem rather dodgy.
Rather dodgy? Are you a child of the bloody 60s?
No, 70s.
I can't believe it.
It seems very suspicious.
Well, I just wonder what we're going to do. We sort of close it down, and then the Scots are going to be in charge of building our boats. What happens if devolution goes ahead, the Scots separate from the rest of the United Kingdom? Do we then take our shipbuilding back and reopen the one down in Portsmouth and get Swan Hunters on the Time going again? What do we do?
I don't know.
I've got a tweet here from somebody who says, is your producer complete? Every time you talk to your producer, he seems embarrassed to come out of his closet. Is there something he wants to tell us?
There's
I don't know, Bob. I'll ask him.
You say
Robbo.
I'm not a professional shipbuilder. I mean, I might have built a...
You're not a professional shipbuilder?
No.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
That's what it sounded like to me. You've got to watch your language. You can't use that sort of language. You know, you don't know who's listening.
I did not say that.
Are you sure?
I did not say that. Did you say it? Do I have to beep that out?
No, I didn't say it. I think it came in my mind. I'm not sure. Let's go back to dogs for a moment. Nigel Bird on Facebook has said, James, could you please mention Facebook in this debate? Facebook, I've mentioned it. For whatever reason, it is perfectly acceptable to post the most horrendous imagery of animal cruelty, suffering and torture imaginable. Facebook is the most widely used social media and has a responsibility in appearing not to condone these appalling acts perpetuated upon animals. Nigel, I've done it. I agree with you. Let me ask you the two things here. First of all, shouldn't these things be shown so it actually warns people? Shouldn't we show these images so that people know the sort of things that some human beings are capable of? That's one thought that occurs to me. And secondly, what sort of moron looks at these? Is it the same sort of people that, and Robbo accidentally saw, what was it, an amputation of a hand somewhere?
Yeah, someone caught stealing, obviously got their hand chopped off.
That is appalling. And people watch that, and I wonder what sort of sickos watch that, and there have been, executions online that people, what sort of sick so-and-so goes and looks at that? Half of me says, yes, we shouldn't have it on Facebook. And then the other half of me says, well, maybe it's a deterrent to wanting to have that sort of thing. Because, there are still people in this country who think that we would be better served with having the death sentence. I, by the way, don't. I don't think there is any evidence anywhere in any country that getting rid of the death sentence has made society a better place to live. And if it has, perhaps somebody could touch and tell me which country that allows execution is a place that you would want to go and live. I'm waiting. No takers?
No.
No?
No.
You don't want to suggest somebody? No?
No, but I don't think it's Facebook's fault.
I didn't say it was Facebook.
No, I think people seem to blame Facebook. It's the posters that post it on Facebook. Facebook can't obviously monitor everyone's post. And obviously you can make complaints to Facebook. And if they don't take it off, then Facebook's at fault. But I think it's the people that put it up there.
Can we not find some of the people who post stuff like this and expose them and ridicule them in some way? Or maybe go round to their house and interview them? You
don't need to find them. Their name is there against the post. You can obviously get in touch with them by clicking on their name.
And nobody is embarrassed to put some of these things up. They think they're clever, do they, or what?
I think they're trying to be witty and clever.
Yeah? I think it's appalling. I think, on the one hand, I think sometimes our news should be slightly more explicit just to make people realise the consequences of certain actions. But the sort of people who obviously enjoy watching, and it's the same with animal cruelty as well, of course, which is what we're talking about. Some people seem to enjoy it. I mean, I suppose they're the same sickos that go badger baiting, or any of those other appalling so-called country pursuits that think that it's entertaining to see another living thing being humiliated and ripped apart. We've got a caller. Okay, who's on?
Second. Let me get him up.
I beg your pardon?
Hang on a second.
In radio, we don't say, let me get him up. That's not what we say. We don't say, let me get him up. We sort of slide a piece of paper or put it up on a screen in front of me with the name, and then I say, and you say the name.
His name is not on my screen, so we'll ask him. He's live now.
It's Gary from Southampton.
Gary from Southampton, good to have you. You're the first caller on our online radio programme ever, Gary, so you are now going to go down in the annals of history.
You're always an interesting person to listen to, so I thought I'd give you a call.
Good man. What are you up to today?
Well, I'm rested. I just had an operation on my arm yesterday, but I won't bore you with all that rubbish. But no, I'm good.
Do.
Like I said,
we'll make us all feel better.
I had the ulnar nerve in my arm replaced. I think they called it a carpal tunnel or something like that.
Oh, that's nothing.
Exactly. It's a flesh wound. So.
Yeah, you'll be right as rain.
Absolutely. But the missus, don't sell out the missus, though. She's running around after me at the moment, so I'm milking it at the moment.
I don't know, how do you manage to get the missus running around after you? I've never been able to achieve that.
Well, put a sling on your arm and a bandage, and it works a treat.
I've put a sling on various parts of my anatomy, and it's never worked.
Well, it depends what kind of slings you're using, James.
So what do you do, Gary? What's your job?
Well, my job at the moment is to look after my daughter full-time. She's disabled.
Right.
I gave my job up about 1.5 years ago to do that.
Yeah.
Took us a couple of years of fighting to get, right sort of package and situation to have a home full-time, and that's what we do. That's what I do now.
Good.
And I love it.
And are you finding that the support that you get as a full-time carer is enough? Because if you weren't there, you're not fallen over, Gary, have you?
No, I'm fine. I'm good.
Fine, okay. It's probably Robbo, the producer. He gets drunk a lot.
I thought he got shot.
Show. Don't be disgusting.
No, good. Yeah, no. I mean, obviously, you probably know what it's like, James. She's 18. She just turned 18 this year. It's been a battle and a half. And obviously we've been through some pretty tough and horrible times and situations with her. But I have to be honest, we've got a very good professional team around us at the moment, and touch wood if we can find some. Things are very good at the moment, and my daughter's quite well. She's happy, obviously, being home. We're happy to have her home. Obviously, me and my wife both worked before full time, and you just, my daughter has a bad night. You're up all night with her, and it was just getting impossible to just go to work as well. And we didn't want the sort of, carers coming in and out of your house, that invasion of carers coming in and out all the time. And there's always been this thing in this country about, parents, they expect you to do everything for nothing, do you know what I mean? But we've had a lot of support, and, we're in a good place at the moment. So, yeah, everything's good, thanks.
Good. Brilliant. Because, if you weren't looking after your daughter, then there would have to be somebody paid. And the idea that we don't support parents who want to actually put their lives on hold to look after their children, or even their parents quite often as well. And sometimes even children looking after their parents. Young children looking after their parents.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, my daughter, just for a brief time, went to residential school just on Monday to Friday, school term times. And I don't want to really talk figures on air, but, we're talking a considerable amount of money here. And obviously, most parents in our situation now are considering putting the children in residential care. Obviously, I would never judge that. It's, whatever each family does independently is up to them. And if that's right for them, that's great. But for us, it wasn't. And of course, it was about finding the right, medium ground to do that and have a home. And, we're not on the poverty line. So, but yeah, you're right. It's a new thing that's starting to come in now, thankfully. And it's good.
All right, mate. Listen, Gary, call us again. We'll put it up online when we're doing the programme, and we'll have another chat and let us know how things are going.
Yeah, no worries. I did want to just briefly mention about dogs, if that was
good.
All right.
Go on. Oh, I forgot there was a reason for you to call in. Yes.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And you say I'm not professional.
I obviously this poor young girl that's been attacked. Lexi, I think her name was. I've said for years that I do have an issue with certain breeds of dogs, and I get quite frustrated when you get people saying it's not the dog, it's the owners. I just don't believe that. I think that certain breeds are, should we say, it's inbuilt in them, to be quite aggressive, fierce, and not only that, certain dogs, I have two dogs, but I've got a Chihuahua and a Cheepom, which if the worst happens with them, you can get them off, people laugh, but how the hell do you get a pit bull or a bulldog or whatever dogs, these ones that clamp the jaws? And I just, I've always said for years that I just don't get why people own those types of dogs. Most people tend to own them as a statement of intimidation when they're out. It's usually young people.
Do you find people, Gary, where you are, do you find people use them to intimidate you? Have you been intimidated by dogs like that?
I mean, personally, I'm quite a big lad and I'm not intimidated that easily, but where I live, people definitely use them. If you see groups of lads or, slightly dodgy people, if you want to say that, they tend to have these types of breeds of dogs. And, no one can sort of fight fisticuffs these days. You've got to have a dog to kind of back it up. And I don't like the way dogs are used in that way,
I agree. I totally agree. But I think I would disagree with what you say about the breeds of dogs. Yeah, there are some dogs that were bred for their strength. But it's all down to the way that you bring up a dog and you look after a dog. For argument's sake, if you go around any charity shelters now, I went round Battersea Dogs Home not long ago, and they are full to bursting with Staffordshire Bull Terriers. Now, Staffies are some of the best. They used to be called the nursemaid dog. And but they've been so badly treated by some of their owners and then bred.
Yeah, well,
but
obviously
I think
these people who've got them are taking advantage of the fact that these dogs can fight to the death. That once they grab onto something, they don't let go. And how do you actually defend yourself against? I'm 6'2", 17 stone. And I couldn't defend myself against a dog like that, and I don't think anybody could. And that's
nobody should have a dog. Nobody should have a dog that they can't control, and nobody. I mean, I for years I've had German Shepherds, and people are frightened of German Shepherds, but they are some of the most faithful dogs you can ever have. But if you badly treat an animal, you're just storing up problems for yourself. And I think we must.
I bet you walk yours on a lead, though, James. We get people around here walking Staffordshire Bull Terriers and all these types of breeds without a lead.
Well, that's ridiculous. That shouldn't be allowed.
And
that shouldn't be allowed.
Get away with it, so.
That shouldn't be allowed. Every dog ought to be controlled, and any dog walking in public should be on a lead, because not only. A dog saw something it wanted to chase. Sometimes it wouldn't be able to control itself. You're quite right. It would run off. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Gary. Very much indeed.
We have another caller?
The James Whale Radio Show. We got another caller. Before we do another caller, we got a Christmas competition this week. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas with bells on. Did you write this?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, good, yeah. You can get a copy of my signed autobiography. Now, there's a prize you should have. But in this competition, there is no question. That's pretty good, isn't it? So this is what you do to win a copy of the signed autobiography. Submit the naffest Christmas cracker joke you can on our Facebook page, or tweet it at The James Whale. We'll read out some of the best ones next week, and we'll send out a few books. So a Christmas competition on the programme. Submit a naff Christmas cracker joke on our Facebook page, and we'll read some of them out tomorrow. What would a naff Christmas cracker joke be, Robbo?
I can't think of one.
Come on, Robbo.
Can I get back to you on that one?
Yeah, right, okay.
If I do it, can I have a chance of winning the prize?
Yeah, all right. If you do it, you might get a chance of winning, all right?
I could do the copy of your book.
Okay, go on then. Who's on?
Well, there's no one. They hung up.
Oh, they hung up?
That's what I said. That
was pretty stupid, wasn't it? I got myself all going. Did I do my homage to King of Shaves, the most fantastic shaving apparatus you can get? I think I did, didn't I?
You did?
Yeah.
You did that at the top of the show.
I did, didn't I? I also, did I do thank you to our sponsors, Talent GB, Audio Boo, TrentSound.com, CoastRadio.co.uk, MyPickTV.co.uk, and JustRadio.net, all for putting us out.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. We must be nearly at the end of the programme, are we?
Well,
are you yawning again?
I'm not yawning. That wasn't a yawn. That was a...
okay.
Yeah.
Has that caller come back yet?
I'm told him to try again. Don't worry.
Listen, on my computer here, let me share this with you. iCloud backup. This iPad hasn't been backed up in 5 weeks, so I better back it up, hadn't I?
You had better back it up, yeah.
Had I?
Have you got anything important there?
Just some pictures?
Yeah, they're important. Is there any of me?
I think there's one or two of you.
Then definitely back it up.
Yeah. Back up. When this iPad is plugged in, locked, and connected to Wi-Fi, can it automatically be backed up? Do I just press OK?
Yeah. Yeah, that'll do. What? Yeah, just press OK.
Okay.
Just get rid... Whatever's there, just get rid of it.
It has, yeah, but... Will it back it up?
It'll do it all. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay, fine. Good. Amazing. That when I started out in radio, I used to take bags of records and jingles, walk into the studio, set them down. And now we can do this whole radio program more or less from an iPad.
We are doing the whole radio from an iPad.
Well, we are doing it from an iPad, yeah. And soon we'll be able to link all the listeners in, and they'll be able just to come on like they're in the studio with us.
Like the last caller.
Like the last caller.
We want more, though.
Well, we do, but I think one is pretty good because I've got a couple more of these bits off Facebook to read. I thought the one I did before, the Facebook question of the week, of course, is how has this country become a nation of animal haters? And Yvonne Warwick says this country has lost its love for animals to a significant degree, and I, for one, am incredibly saddened. The stories I read and the info I'm sent by animal rights agencies is just breaking my heart. And it goes on and on. Of course, as I have mentioned, let's talk about covering your face in our society. That's something we'll put up on Facebook as well, and we'll talk about on the programme next week. But I think that's almost it. What sort of time have we got left?
15 minutes.
Oh, we've got 15 minutes left?
Yeah.
Well, why don't we play the music first?
Yep, we could do that.
And then we'll come back and talk. Now, this is, as I said before, listen, let me just explain. If you happen to have a bit of music or something or other about you and you would like to be played on the show, then take advantage of it, because eventually we will charge to be played on the programme, but at this moment it's free. And so if you have a CD or I suppose you could send us a JPEG or something, couldn't they? We will include it on the programme if it's... I mean, some of them we can't. Mind you, some of them have been so bad we might actually include some of those.
Did you say JPEG a minute ago?
Yeah.
MP3.
What? Oh, right, okay.
We're getting our terminology
JPEG's a
mixed
picture.
up.
Yeah, well, you're the one who's supposed to know about these things.
I was talking to the people on Facebook while you were talking to me, and I just heard the word JPEG, and I thought you were asking people to send pictures in, not music. Maybe I should pay more attention.
You should, because you're a producer. You're supposed to talk to the callers and you're supposed to listen to me.
I'm not a woman. I can't multitask.
No, true enough. You're definitely not a woman. So anyway, if you would like to send them to us, what, via the website?
Via the website or Facebook, facebook.com/James Well Radio Show.
Okay. Now, this is quite good. We've got Richard Young, Andy Tonkin, Mark Hurrell, Ken Robson and Les Potton. Richard Young, guitar, harmonica and vocals. Andy Tonkin, piano and singing. Mark Hurrell, bass, trombone, singing. Ken, I beg your pardon, Kate. Ken Robson, lead guitar. They're going to call you Kate. Les Potton's on drums. They come from Cambridgeshire, and they call themselves Shake Hands Eric. Funnily enough, there's nobody called Eric in the band. Never mind. Anyway, I quite like this. Have a listen. It's called Shoulder.
Lift me up over your shoulder and bear me on your way. When we sleep, we will recover a bond in breath to break your fall. Oh, and childish hope, perhaps rediscover, gently kiss us with the truth. Oh, and I would wild away with you, and I
So there we are, Shoulder from Shake Hands, Eric. And I don't know, if you like it, let us know. If you hate it, let us know. And if you have some music you would like us to feature on the program, all you've got to do is get in touch with us on Facebook or our website and send it to us. I'm still looking for reggae music. Why can't I find reggae music? There must be some new reggae bands out there. Does reggae
we got a caller.
What? Rob, got a caller? Who've you got?
We'll ask him now.
Hello.
James, lovely. It's Sarah Jane Morris just ringing in to say hello on your programme.
Sarah Jane, how the hell are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very good. Is that the Sarah Jane singer that I know?
It is indeed.
Sarah Jane, who has, and we haven't spoken for years. Sarah
We
Jane,
haven't,
when did
darling.
we?
And now you're up and running again. I want to say I'll come in and do a session for you.
Would you?
Absolutely.
Where? In fact, I can't remember. The last time I saw you, was it at Ronnie Scott's?
That's right. That's right. And I often used to go on your programme.
You did. Used to come on the radio show. Used to come on the television show.
I remember your wonderful television show, and I do hope that that's going to be repeated.
Well, you never know. Listen, you sound younger than ever.
You've always been a charmer, Mr. Wales.
I know. So, what is it? The Sarah Jane band now? What are you calling it?
Yes, no, Sarah Jane. Well, it's just Sarah Jane Morris still, but I have an amazing band. I have Tony Remy on guitar, who I share with Annie Lennox, and I have the wonderful Dominic Miller, who, when I'm allowed, I share with Sting. And I have Martin Barker on drums and Henry Thomas on bass. And we're actually in the middle. We're about to go back into the studio tomorrow. We're recording our new album, which is very African influenced.
That'll be great.
Yes.
That will be great.
We're playing at the Hippodrome on the 23rd of November, previewing some of those songs. And maybe I can come into your show and give you a couple of songs leading up to it.
Well, maybe we can organise that. I will get Rob, who produces it, to get in touch with you.
Absolutely.
But more than that, where can all of us now come and see you? About the Hippodrome in London on the 23rd.
On the 23rd of November. And then we headline at Ronnie Scott's on the 3rd and 4th of January. And that's with Dominic Miller and Tony Remy. It's actually a 9-piece band. It's brass section, many special guests. But that's a great place to always come and see us, is Ronnie Scott's.
Well, I'm gonna put me down. I'm gonna want to come to Ronnie Scott's because I like it.
Long time since you come to Ronnie's to see me down.
Yeah, Mrs. W and I will definitely come down there, and then we'll go and have lots to drink afterwards.
We'll go and catch up afterwards.
Listen, have you got a CD out, a record out at the moment?
I've got Cello Songs, which has been out for a year. We launched it at the Purcell Rooms. But the new CD will be coming out next year.
Now, all those people trying to rack their brains say, "Oh God, I know her. Where do I know her from?" Tell them where they know you from.
They know me through the Communards.
The Communards, of course.
Yeah. On Don't Leave Me This Way.
Yeah, brilliant song. Is music as good now as it was in the 80s or not?
Well, for me, music is better because I run my own label and I'm in charge of what I do. I don't have to ask permission. But I do happen to make people dance with the social content, social comment content. So
you do,
so it's quite on the next album. There's this song written for the Pope. You can actually dance to this one. It's quite a good funky tune. It was written to the Pope, basically. Asking, well, it's accusing the Catholic Church of
you don't want to upset the Pope, Sarah Jane.
Leading to the epidemic in Africa.
If you upset the Pope, goodness only knows where it's going to end up.
Yes, goodness only knows. Luckily, I'm big in Italy.
Listen, it's really nice hearing your voice again after all these years.
It's lovely to talk to you too, darling, and I will see you very soon.
Get in touch, and if we can get a Sarah Jane Morris tune, we'll put it in the programme before the end as well.
Brilliant. And love to Mr.
All right, darling.
Bye.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Bye. My golly, you see, we even meet all my old friends that I haven't spoken to for years. Sarah Jane Morris was, of course, the fabulous voice, the great voice, female voice in the Communards. And Robbo won't even remember the Communards because he's too young.
Communards.
You know the Communards.
I know the Communards.
Well, can we stick their record on then?
Did she just give us permission?
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
I'll get in touch with her. Make sure. Yeah, we'll put a song on.
All right. Okay. Brilliant. Now, I think that's almost about it, really, for this week's edition of the James Whale Radio Show. Our thanks to all our contributors. Don't forget to enter the competition, you lot out there as well. Very simple to enter. Maybe I can get Sarah Jane to give us a couple of CDs to give away too. A copy of my signed autobiography. And no question in the competition. Just want you to submit some really naff, crisp, not rude.
I've got
just
one.
Funny,
I've got
clever.
one.
Got what? A joke?
Yes.
Go on.
Why can't you see Santa's sleigh?
Why can't you see Santa's sleigh?
Because it's in disguise.
Oh, dear. You can do better than that, surely.
That's a winner.
Submit the Christmas cracker jokes to our Facebook page or tweet it at The James Whale. And we'll read some out on the programme next week. We'll pick some good ones and send you some copies of the book. Excellent. And download The Butterfly Boy. If you want something when you're on a long journey to keep you company, download The Butterfly Boy. In the meantime, tell all your friends to join us on the James Whale Radio Show online worldwide. Say bye-bye, Rob.
Bye-bye, Rob.
See ya.
A Cuban stowaway found dead yesterday on the wheelbay of an aeroplane on another busy runway. A Kurdistan woman crushed to death under the wheels of a shiny truck. As she leaves the ferry one busy morning, she runs out of luck. Where are we going? What is our goal? Where is the promised land? Yeah, the land where dreams are sold. The land where dreams are sold. The land where dreams are sold. Washed up by the sea near a holiday town. He drowned, they say, trying to get to Italy. Well, they taped the mouth of the Nigerian as they transported him to Sofia. As he suffocated, the last thing he saw was a board advertising IKEA. Where are we going? What is our goal? The promised land, yeah, the land where dreams are sold. The land where dreams are sold. The land where dreams are sold.
So there we go then. That was a track by Sarah Jane Morris called Promised Land from the album Where It Hurts. You can visit her at sarahjanemorris.com. If you want to get your music on the show, just get in touch with us via our website or our email address, jameswellradio@gmail.com. See you next week.
James Well, the voice of reason on the James Well Radio Show.
You're listening to the James Well Radio Show. For more information, visit www.jameswellradio.co.uk. Why not check us out on facebook.com/Jameswell Radio Show or follow James on Twitter @the James Whale. James Whale, the voice of reason.